Ladies and gentlemen, I, the TSO Sage, asked many of you on Twitter, what are thy anime hot takes in regards to the one, the only Dragon Ball? We have the boy Honey Mustard. Dragon Ball Z hasn't truly had a great villain since Frieza. Cap. Now I see what he's trying to do. You could easily argue the peak antagonists in Dragon Ball history are Vegeta and Frieza. However, what I find obvious fucking player in the bag, that Cell isn't a great villain is kind of crazy. You could argue Cell's dialogue on rewatch is a little bit less cunning than you would think. You could argue that some of his total actions and intent aren't exactly like he was gonna fuck Earth up after he got perfect, but once he got perfect, he's a lot more zen than like how a Frieza or Vegeta was. But I'm not gonna go as far as to say that he wasn't a villain, and I'm not gonna go as far as to say that he wasn't a great one at it. Cell, on immediate impact, the first thing he does is wipe out cities behind the scenes. He's drinking people. But second form Cell changed the entire series like that. All right, so nobody is gonna beat his ass until Vegeta literally trains for a year, because nobody was going to fucking be able to stop him. And then Perfect Cell, my God, again, he's like a perfect narrative foil to one of the biggest payoffs in the anime. So the idea that that villain couldn't be great is crazy to me. But obviously his point is he doesn't like Cell. If you don't like Cell, then it depends. You have to ask yourself, okay, what's a villain? And I know what you mean by it. I know what you mean. Say, what the fuck you mean a villain? There's a difference between antagonist and a villain. Because if this word were antagonist, he's like OD fishing. You're already kind of fishing when you say that Cell's not great, but you're fishing like fuck if you're going to say Beerus isn't a good antagonist. Now, if you want to argue Beerus is not a good villain, oh, that's perfect. That's actually perfectly fine, because he's not really that evil. Majin Buu, that's another obvious name, but I'm not mad at it because of somebody got to be at the bottom of the totem pole. And Majin Buu struggles with something that Cell didn't, which is erratic personality changes per transformation. So, yeah, eventually he kind of just like is hard to buy into. You buy into the fat menace that is just like any point in time gonna do some fucked up shit, to the guy that lets his intrusive thoughts win. Then you let the guy that has his intrusive thoughts win to a more logical version of that guy who doesn't let his intrusive thoughts win. And then you go from that to just a completely different nigga in Gohan. And then you go from that to the most different nigga maybe in the verse, who is just an incarceration of a piece of shit fuck evil bastard. So I'm not mad at not thinking Buu is a great villain. Buu is an iconic villain. Truthfully, I'm not mad at he's not a great villain. Then Goku Black, I think Goku Black's fucking amazing. Zamasu's an idiot though, so fair enough to that as well. I think that's everybody. I think everybody else you're kind of just reaching for. And yeah, basically the outrage is for Cell. Moral, I haven't read the manga, by the way. Is Jiren a villain in terms of story? Jiren's another example of an antagonist. But yeah, I disagree. I'm gonna give y'all 001. Frieza is not racist. Yes, he is. This goes from hot takes to just lying. Yes, he is. Frieza is flagrantly racist. Naruto clears. I mean, it depends what you're asking. When you say Naruto clears, what the fuck does that even mean? Naruto's weaker than Goku, so you're not talking about power. Oh, never mind. He says he's just chatting, but it's still like what are you asking for? Are you asking for side characters? Because then Naruto clears. I think Naruto has way more of a side character bag than Dragon Ball, but to say the whole series clears is kind of ridiculous. Naruto turns very quickly to, hey, Naruto's right. Anybody who Naruto opposes is wrong in their entire ideology. Think like Naruto. And I know you could argue that for a lot of shonens, but even Goku isn't necessarily always correct until really Super. And then that's why Super kind of changes that into just who knows the true power to strength versus anything else. Because Goku pretty much throughout the entirety of Z is a flawed character. So no, that's not even really a valid analysis of that. Yeah, no, yeah. Shouldn't be a hot take and really isn't, but anybody stronger than OG Dragon Ball Roshi is a planet buster. Well, duh. Roshi blew up the moon. It's not a secret that anybody in the current version of Dragon Ball Ball. Yeah, no, next. Beast Gohan is Mickey. Brother just unlocks a new form after years of not training for real after the Tournament of Power. I don't know. This is definitely one of those hot takes that have like merit to them, but I don't know if I agree with them because the narrative has and always is, yo, Gohan like is just casually one of the strongest niggas here. You just have to piss him the fuck off. And when he goes into, hey, I don't want to fight, I just want to be about my family, and the movie is dedicated to, hey, they really just fucked with this guy's family the whole time. So, you see what I'm saying? Like, at that point, I'm not mad that Gohan had a rage boost like that. I wouldn't even have this take about Beast Gohan. I think the problem is you can debate Beast Gohan. What you really have to call Mickey, and I love the character, is Piccolo being orange. Now, that's Mickey Mouse. Piccolo going to the Dragon Balls and essentially wishing for that fucking form. That's actually Mickey. He got his potential unleashed with the Dragon. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I'm calling it Mickey. Because then you could argue, one, why hasn't he been done this? Two, why the fuck is he extremely that strong? Because if Piccolo had this potential, he'd probably unlock it because Piccolo isn't a guy that doesn't train. I know his training is meditation. He sits on his ass, and you could argue that's not fully actualizing your training, but that just implies that Piccolo is an awful mentor then. If Piccolo's idea of training is holding his potential back that drastically, again, doesn't make sense. Third and most importantly, the basis of, hey, bro really went to the Dragon Balls and pulled a, hey, can I be a Super Saiyan 2? He pulled like the what if 101. Yeah, that's definition of Mickey to me. The timeline / story after the Frieza fight is bad. You mean to tell me in Trunks' timeline for future Gohan, Goku or King Kai can't tell him to meet with the old lady and have Gohan train with King Kai and Goku to learn him Kaioken or train Trunks? Okay, first of all, Goku or King Kai can't tell him to meet with the old lady. You could also imply that shit got blown the fuck up. If it didn't get blown the fuck up, yeah, this is somewhat of a flaw in the arc, but simultaneously, Gohan, you know what I'm saying? Gohan can't just fucking run around the fucking Earth like the androids wouldn't just be like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, when Gohan fights the androids, he's always catching them while they're doing something, because literally at any one in time, the androids could fucking kill him, and he was the last hope. Also, Gohan train with King Kai, meet with the old lady and have him train with King Kai. Yeah, that I see what you're trying to say. It's not the worst take, but I'm on the fence of that, bro. I'm not gonna entirely agree with that. I think a lot of logistics get blown out the window. I think, again, you could argue that, hey, niggas would have caught that nigga. Or you could argue B, that it was already fucked up. I'm currently live at the moment, so I'm not like taking my time. I think it was. Was it blown up in the future? I don't know. I don't know at this moment in time. I'll definitely, that's like a random fun fact that I'm blanking on. But then most importantly, what would Kaioken do for Gohan in this situation? And I know that's going to sound insane. At this point in the series, Super Saiyan Kaioken isn't necessarily a thing. So unless you want to go as far as to create a literal fanfic of hell, have what if Gohan went to King Kai and learned Kaioken in the Spirit Bomb and then was the first person to stack Super Saiyan onto Kaioken? That's one hell of a fanfic. That is one hell of a fanfic. If you were to truly want to argue it's Mickey, you could just simply argue how he didn't get a rage boost after all of this shit. Yeah, that's probably as far as I could go there. Was Frieza wrong? Just think about it. He was getting rid of bad monkeys. No, Frieza was entirely wrong. Frieza moved out of fear. Now, the Saiyans are canonically not good people, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, that nigga just did some racist shit. It's kind of like really any dictator in history. And it's like, yeah, I mean, what he's saying is a stereotype and or straight up law about a certain demographic to a certain and in real life very small degree, but eventually the ends do not justify the means. The ends do not justify the means. So no, Frieza's still wrong. Vegeta's never really lost to Goku. This is just a fact of the day, but it's like one of the corny takes. Vegeta never losing to Goku is like the whole, and I mean literal entire series of Dragon Ball Z is Vegeta's efforts in chasing Goku once he gets surpassed and once he sees that the Saiyan who works hard is able to surpass him. So the idea that like, oh yeah, he never loses, it's like, I guess. One Piece East Blue Saga is better than all of Dragon Ball. I don't even know if I'm done with the East Blue, so have at it. Majin Vegeta versus Buu is the best fight in the series, or at least best few episodes. No. Hell no. Majin Vegeta versus Buu is literally one move. It's one of the most iconic, and to Dragon Ball fans will argue it might be the most iconic, but to the majority public, no, it is not the most iconic scene, anointing said iconic moment to be so high that it surpasses every actual fight, and then going on to say that it is also therefore the best fight in the series. There is at least 3 fights in the Cell Saga better than Majin Vegeta versus Buu. That is incorrect. Vegeta gotta be one of the worst models to aspire after. Nigga works out while severely injured. Honestly, he's a bad martial artist. Okay, that's just not true. That's just not true. Now, what this demographic does, and I assume you're gonna have a scan of, yeah, Goku implying this. This is showing that Goku is a significantly better one, but bad is insane. Vegeta accomplishes several things that Goku essentially just like was given. Like, Goku is given the God ability. Case in point, Goku is literally given the God form. One of my favorite forms in the series. Vegeta, from a weaker power level, from a weaker starting point in the series, unlocks it. Vegeta also just simply isn't as much of a battle genius as Goku, depending on the situation. Not even depending on the situation when it comes to unlocking full potential. This is also shown, funny enough, in the Cell Saga. When he frame 1 surpasses Super Saiyan, and while he does realize, yo, getting really muscular is fucking stupid, he doesn't understand the concept of, hey, if you just maintain Super Saiyan the whole time, you're probably ridiculous. So Goku's smarter than Vegeta. That's a cold take, or if that's a hot take, I actually will agree with you in terms of combat, but saying he's a bad martial artist is ridiculous. Dragon Ball needs less new transformation and more techniques and moves. I don't think this is a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take. Like, who would disagree with this? Who would sit here and say, yeah, no, bro, Dragon Ball needs way more transformations? Who would say, no, Dragon Ball has not gone overboard with transformations? Tien is also the strongest human. Now, that's not true. Great. I know it's the corny answer. I know it's the answer you guys don't want to hear. But, I mean, even in Super, whether you like it or love it, Master Roshi with killer intent is implied to just straight up be stronger. Oob is literally existing. And then Krillin, I would argue, is also stronger. So I don't even think he's a top 3 Earthling right now. Now, if you want to say I'm wrong about one of the 2, one of the 3, go for it. But, nah. Super Saiyan 2 is a bad form, and the only time it works design-wise is when Teen Gohan uses it. Piccolo did the same shit. Okay, you sent 4. We're not doing this. I'm gonna go with this one. And this, I actually agree. Super Saiyan 2 is a bad form, and it only works when Teen Gohan uses it. I do agree. I think Super Saiyan 2 is one of the more useless forms in the series. Now, is that a hot take? I don't know. But I do agree with the idea that Super Saiyan 2 is just not that good. And it's sad because it's supposed to be. Super Saiyan 2 is supposed to be the form of like, okay, you've mastered Super Saiyan, and then here's a bonus multiplier for achieving the level beyond mastering Super Saiyan. It's supposed to be like one of the perfect forms. It's just unfortunate that when Vegeta uses it, you can't tell. When Goku uses it, you can't tell. Well, when adult Gohan uses it, you can't tell. Caulifla uses it, you can't tell. When Kaba uses it, you can only tell because the whole fight was about him unlocking Super Saiyan 2, but in general, you couldn't tell. And it doesn't do much outside of Cell. I'm not doing 4 takes in one, though, so yeah. The introduction of Jiren randomly being the strongest antagonist in DBS was definitely a hit to the series. I actually disagree. With this. You didn't need to do that much. Dragon Ball Super essentially said someone in the multiverse is stronger than Goku. Not, I don't know how much more complex you have to get. I'm not gonna lie. What did you want? Just several monologues and promos of like shadows of Jiren every time Whis is like, probably someone stronger than God of Construction. There's probably someone stronger even than you, Lord Bear. What did you just want a bald flash of Jiren every time? Did you just want to like every time? Every time it's supposed to be fucking Jiren just like I don't know what you wanted, bro. No, it's not really that complex. All right, let's get a couple more. Goten is the biggest waste potential of the show. Yeah, him or Trunks, yeah. You could easily argue Goten. Because Goten's literal issue isn't even necessarily work ethic. It's just the fact that he was born and raised in the era of peacetime. So if you had to anoint one, you can very well argue Trunks because we've seen what Trunks could do. As much as I despise Super Saiyan Rage, but yeah, Goten being like second, I'm not mad at that. Dragon Ball GT wasn't that bad for real. Like the execution was a B- at the very best, but at the worst it was a C-. Dragon Ball GT at the worst C-. Now that's just bullshit. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, look, any person that thinks GT is better than Super. Hell, you think GT's better than OG Dragon Ball or Z? You know what? Go for it. But the idea that Dragon Ball GT doesn't have a dangerously low floor, all right, we're just lying, and that's fine. You know, some niggas need to be born to lie. So when people tell the truth, we're like, oh, there's a difference between the two. But no, hell no. The worst is a C-. That's just bullshit. You have the dancing para. You have the entire and Super 17 arc. Hell, the concept of Super 17. The execution was a B-. That's also incorrect. That's also incorrect. As a person that has actually sat there and watched GT, this is not true. GT has religiously had some of the best ideas throughout the entire series, and the reason it's negatively viewed is because it fails at execution. Baby is the one example of proper execution, and even then, at some point, it's like, that ending was all right. But I'm not going to be a dick because I think they hit a home run with Baby. Omega Shenron, horrid execution. Do you guys remember? I think you guys play too much Budokai. I'm not gonna lie. I think you guys play a little too much Budokai 3 and a little too much Budokai Tenkaichi. So y'all remember Ice, Nova, whatever the fuck. I used to call him Nueva as a kid. That's why it was back in my mind. It's Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron, and Omega Shenron. Y'all remember them three niggas so bad. Y'all don't remember this nigga. Y'all remember this nigga. Y'all remember how ass majority of the dragons were, bro. Majority of these dragons were painfully bad, bro. Painfully bad. And there were dedicated episodes to them. No, bro, no. Don't tell me this whole arc is good because you like the ending of it. Hell, you could even argue that your glorious king Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 specifically, weren't, like, there's several reasons. Because the idea of Gogeta just being a troll is fucking ridiculous. So there's several things that Dragon Ball GT goes for, and there are perfect ideas, perfect concepts, hell, perfect designs, but the execution consistently was the problem. No, you're trying to be different to get your shit off, but this is probably the most egregious part. Let me be very clear. Even if you think I'm overhating on some shit, someone said, to be fair, that he acted like Super Vegeta. Super Vegeta wasn't even that fucking bad. But either way, even if you think I'm overhating on the execution and you want to bring up the good points, I promise you there's more bad, but fine. At worst, C- was the most dishonest thing you could have said. Tien is just as bad as Yamcha. At what? At what? Losing fights? I mean, actually, no, he's not. He's actually straight up not. Even when he's insanely power cliffed, he has better showings against Boo. He has better showings against Cell. He has better showings in the Tournament of Power. Why? Because Yamcha is either absent in them or got one shot prior to imply how much stronger someone else has become. So, yeah, no, that's just not right. I'm not gonna lie, Krillin gets too much blame for the 18 situation. Given Vegeta had 7 perfect Cell dead to rights and let him walk due to ego, and 18 had ample time to try to escape, while 17 fought Cell, and when Vegeta fought Cell, she could have run but didn't want to leave 16 behind. Yeah, so the solution was blowing her up. Hello? It's literally It's literally Vegeta versus Krillin, debated either way. To the idea that Android 18 should be given more slack instead of Krillin is maybe the biggest reach of this video. And I think the GT take was probably the worst one of this video, but this is probably the biggest reaching foul of this video. We're saying Rage is not a bad transformation. All right, that's strike 2. Y'all got one more crazy miss and we out of here. That's insane strike 2. If you guys don't like story in Dragon Ball, or you think Dragon Ball doesn't have story, then you know what? It is a great transformation. But actually, even then, no, it's not, because it doesn't even look good. Let me tell you something. A lot of you guys see Super Saiyan Rage and think it's always like this. Do you understand that Super Saiyan Rage at some point, literally, and I do mean literally, just looks like this? Just looks like it just ends up looking like, and I know this is a Xenoverse thing, but like I have to go through and like find a specific screenshot, but go rewatch the arc. At some point, Super Saiyan Rage, literally, like Super Saiyan, it looks the fucking same. It's at some point. That shit is ridiculously bad. He think he meant Rose? If he meant Rose, then that's like, who said it was a bad transformation? Now that I think about it, I don't know what he means, so fair enough. But I hope he's not talking Rage, because a lot of you guys think that Super Saiyan Rage is a good transformation, and it's fucking awful. One for the road. This is a somewhat debatable hot take that I want to leave here. Boom. Vegeta is the best character in Dragon Ball in terms of development, so an arc of him visiting Planet Vegeta in Universe 6 and taking the evolution from Prince to King of all Saiyans by teaching him to transform. What the hell? Well, it started good in the first half in terms of, okay, we have something to debate. All of this fanficky ass shit. What the hell? I ain't gonna lie. Why did he keep cooking? Please put the spatula down. Look, man, this part right here. Vegeta's best character in Dragon Ball. That's not a hot take, but it's a debatable take. And my hot take is easily that, hell no, it's Goku. Yeah, Goku clears. In fact, many people who study Dragon Ball would be like, yeah, Goku clears. but I understand liking Vegeta. As a person that's went back, rewatched Dragon Ball a third time in the same month just to study Vegeta's character alone, Vegeta is a great character. Vegeta is a fantastic character. And I even do think Vegeta definitely deserves a payoff arc where he's clearly the winner. But the fanfic bag, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, a Planet Sadala arc was always something that people wanted and shit, but my God, being the king of Universe 6 Saiyans without essentially ever being there was kind of crazy. Also, Vegeta would never, that doesn't even fit Vegeta's character. Vegeta would never want to be the king of the Universe 6 Saiyans. He would maybe want to be known as the strongest Saiyan that's ever been in Universe 6, but he would always like, hey, Kaba, this is about to be you. This is about to be, he would never go to Kaba's hood and tell Kaba, yeah, you're little bro, I'm the king, you're the prince. No. That would be the most inconsistent thing Vegeta would ever have fucking done at this point in his character.